everyone. In this little video, I just thought I'd show you how I transfer my line art onto the paper for my graphite drawings. Now, just get either your reference image or your line art and just turn it over, and then just get quite a soft graphite pencil. I usually just use an 8B or 7B, something like that, something that's reasonably soft. And all you need to do, let me just move this into the camera without going on my paper. All right, so all you need to do is just cover, you can see that, just cover that whole image with that graphite pencil. I'm just trying to, but I'm going to lean on my paper here, so I'm just trying to be careful. Just come all the way over the top. Just make sure that you're actually covering all of that drawing. Just a quick check, make sure that we haven't missed any. And then I sometimes just like to turn it around and just come back over, just again in the other direction, just to make sure that I haven't sort of missed any little bit. Just like that. All right, so once you've actually got your actual line art, what you want to do is you want to just tape it down onto your paper. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of masking tape. So you want to just decide where you want that drawing to sit on your paper. For this one, I want it more or less just in the middle. So I'm just going to pop it down there. And then I just like to put a little bit of tape just across the corner. Now the reason for this is you can just hold it, but if something happens and it moves, then obviously you'll have lost where you're up to, and yeah, sometimes it's really hard to get it back in the same spot. So once I've taped it on, all I do is just grab quite a sharp hard pencil, so something like a 7H, or you could just use a pen, but just be careful with your pressure. You don't want to be indenting your paper. And then all you basically do is just come across the top of that drawing. And then that will deposit that graphite down onto your paper. Now I like to just lift it off just from the corner there, just early in the piece. You can see that it doesn't have to be dark. And you just want to make sure that it is actually popping that graphite down onto the paper. And you'll see if your pressure isn't hard enough, then obviously it won't be depositing that graphite down. But like I said, you don't want to be pressing overly hard, and you don't need to, because the last thing you want to do is actually indent your paper. Because once you've done that, you can't really recover from that, unfortunately. So just take your time. I sometimes do like using a pen for this, and usually one of those multi sort of coloured ones, you know, the ones that you've got like 5 different colours in them, because what they're great at doing is letting you see exactly what you've transferred already. Because if you use just a pencil like I'm using here, unless you're sort of really aware of actually what you're laying down, it is quite easy to just miss a little section. So I'm going to try and be as careful as I can and make sure that I'm getting it all down. And like I said, because you've taped it there, you can lift that up and you can actually have a look and see what you've done and whether you've missed a bit, or again, just work. No need to rush this process, just take your time. And when you're transferring any line art, it is completely up to you how much detail you actually want or need down for your drawing. I always recommend for anyone sort of starting out that they use this sort of transfer method just so that they can get their proportions right and their placement right. When you're actually drawing any sort of animal, you want to make sure that you're getting the size of those eyes right, the nose in the right spot. It's amazing how the slightest little bit off can really sort of make your artwork look a little bit weird. So if you're wanting to get that realism, then definitely never think that doing a line art transfer is cheating in any way. Because I could, like I said, I could give this line art to 100 people and I would get 100 different drawings. I'm just lifting that up, just back and forth, just having a quick look. See, I've missed this little bit under the chin here. And just a quick flick back and forth. Got the little bit there. I've missed these little lines here as well. So that's what I mean. Having that coloured pen does make a bit of a difference. But if you don't have one of those pens, then yeah, just a pencil. I think that is all of that detail down now. So all we need to do now is you just very gently just lift that tape. Always try and use a nice low tack sort of tape if you can, because you don't really want to be lifting the surface off of your paper. So just try and get a nice low tack masking tape, and then that doesn't create any damage to your actual paper. And that's it. It's as simple as that. And then you are ready to go for your actual drawing.